out there, everybody. It's us. We're back again with yet another sports podcast. It's your Bearded Brothers. I'm Matt. That's Chris. I want to start the show by saying I am sorry that the week 1 show didn't come out until today. I was going to do it over the weekend. Unfortunately, my appendix decided to stage a coup d'etat in my body, and it had to be taken out, if you know what I mean. So I spent some time in the hospital over the weekend, and I'm just now starting to really get back into the groove of everything. Surprise, surprise. Medical issues win. Medical issues 1, Matt 0. It also means I didn't watch a lot of football over the weekend. I've caught a few games, and I have very blurry memory of them.
That's fair.
So,
most of them, there were some games that were better than they should have been. There were games that should have been better that weren't, and there were games that were massive disappointments.
yeah, I would count the Vikings game as a massive disappointment.
It was in some regards. I mean, again, we can talk about it when we get. But
What?
My video thing. Oh my god.
You're good.
Hold
I
on.
can see you.
Not my video thing. My audio.
I can
Cut
hear
off.
you.
I can't hear you.
Oh, you
I
can't
can't
hear
hear
me.
you.
Got it now?
All right, there we go.
All right.
Every once in a while, it just decides to shit the bed for no apparent reason.
All right.
I was gonna say, I think for the most part it was fine, but we'll talk about it more when we get there. But I think people are over worrying, but it was still a disappointment just from the aspect of like you would have expected to see some improvement from week 1 to week 2. I didn't really feel like we got really any.
There are a couple other games that I felt
So,
disappointed in because I was
Yeah.
because these are teams that played so well week 1, even though like one of them lost, and I was like, but you played so well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you kudos for that. And then they came out the next week and just shut the bed on TV, and I was like, oh.
Bears defense.
I wasn't even just talking about them. I was talking about one of those New York.
No, I know,
teams.
but they're one of them.
Oh,
Bears
yeah.
defense, man. Woof. That was rough.
That was rough. And if that's
Yeah.
not a wake-up call to the Bears defense, then I don't know what's going to wake them up.
I have no idea, man.
All right. Sports news. We can probably go over some injury report updates if you want.
I mean, there's a couple things we can talk about, I guess, on that regard.
So this week alone, Joe Burrow is set to probably miss the rest of the season. There's a chance he could come back late in the
very
season
end, but
if they're in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be without him.
You never know, but it's definitely looking unlikely.
Yeah. I got a hot potato about that later too. But so Joe Burrow looks set to miss the entire season as he got a really, really bad case of turf toe, and his toe is basically being held together with hope and spit and prayer at this point. So he needs surgery. Like we said, probably out the rest of the season. Aaron Jones has an ankle injury or something?
It's kind of what it seems like, but it's
Ankle, hamstring, something.
Last I read it, it's questionable.
Yeah.
For some reason.
But he was injured and may not play this week.
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy is out for the Vikings for 2 to 4 weeks with an ankle injury. Whether that's he's out or he's benched, we don't know.
Well, they've
always
everything
been
I
pretty
have
straight
read,
shooters.
it seems to be there's actually an injury, and they just want to make sure that he's not. It's not a thing worse than just a minor.
Exactly, and they've always been pretty straight. This regime that's running the team has always been pretty straight shooting about it. Jaden Daniels apparently tweaked his knee in that loss to Green Bay, and he is questionable for this weekend. Emeka Abuka is questionable for this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Any other big ones that I missed?
Off the top of my head, no. Um, the only ones I can really think of. I mean, there might be others, but I just none that are like
None that come to
massive.
my mind because I can't remember.
Yeah, this isn't to say that there isn't others. It's just more like memory-wise, I just can't think of any like big names outside of those
Yeah,
that
no, those are
that have
the
been
only
injured.
big ones that I can think of right now. Um, there haven't been really any trades. Um,
No,
and
no,
I don't know if we'll see anything on the trade front for at least another couple of weeks.
probably not
Which is
until
when
at
the
least early
what
October.
yeah, because that's when about you get that 4 to 5 week because that what is it week 8 is the trade deadline usually
Yeah,
8 or 9 somewhere in there. So that's
yeah,
where the trade deadline sits. So really about week 4 or 5 you've gotten several games to figure out your team and are you a buyer or a seller
yeah, pretty much.
and figure your stuff out from there. Um, But yeah, the Burrow injury was probably the biggest one, and that's a huge blow to the hopes of Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's a huge blow to my fantasy team.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I got Jared Goff as my backup.
He's actually not doing bad.
No, no, his first week was pretty atrocious, but last week was pretty good.
Well, I would hope so.
We'll see. We'll see how this week goes for him.
Anyway, alrighty. Since we don't have more to talk about there, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at the scores, shall we?
No,
Scores.
terrible.
I know I am. Alrighty. So you said you were going to cover the Thursday night game, the Commanders at the Packers, and we both watched that game.
I mean, I remember tidbits of it, but again, it's a very when you watch all the other games too. Well, not I shouldn't say all of them, but you watch a lot of the other games too. It's hard to remember a lot of things, and unfortunately, this feels like another one of those games where like Washington didn't do jack shit until the very end of the game, and so they just got kind of dismantled the entire like. I literally stopped watching partway through because it just wasn't worth. It was very clearly not the game that I was expecting. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
it wasn't. And
Like the Commanders really played disappointingly. It wasn't
it was
good.
either that they played disappointingly or that Packers defense is that's a solid defense this year.
I don't know because Washington week 1 didn't exactly wow me much either. So I'm kind of wondering if they're going through that sophomore slump that sometimes happens, but we'll
Maybe.
see.
I could see it.
But yeah, I mean, when you have Jaden Daniels going 24 for 42, I mean that's 57%. That's not.
Oh, right, Eckler.
That's bad. Oh yeah, Austin Eckler. Yeah,
For
kind
injuries,
of forgot
Austin
about that.
Eckler, non
Yeah,
contact, Achilles.
yeah, yeah.
He's done for the year.
He also their rushing game was terrible. Not that I blame Eckler obviously, but I mean 8 attempts for 17 yards is not great. Um, and so like you only got 200 yards throwing. You got 2 touchdowns, but only on a 57% completion. You had only 51 yards on the ground for your across your entire team. It was 17, 17, 17 yards. I mean, Jaden Daniels had 17 yards on 7 rushes. Eckler had 8 out of 17, and Krosky had 4 on 7 for 17. Like, yeah. Zach Ertz had 6 receptions for 64 yards and a touchdown, which is not bad. Debo got involved for 7 for 44 and a touchdown. Terry McLaurin finally got involved for 5 for 48, but again, not good enough. Luke McCaffrey finally got involved. 1 for 19. Woo! He touched the ball. But yeah, like just in general, it's just not great. There were no fumbles, but no interceptions. Um, they were able to get, it looks like, 2 sacks in total on Love. We had one from Armstrong, half from Martin, and half from Von Mille. Um, I mean, ugh, I even forgot about this. Gay was 1 for 3 on field goals too, which is just not good. Like you left 6 points on the board.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't have been enough to change the score, but at
No,
least
but
it
at
wouldn't have
least
looked
then
so
you got a
bad.
3-point game instead of a.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It doesn't look quite as bad then. Like just in general, Washington just doesn't feel like they played very well. Like don't get me wrong, I think Green Bay's defense is better, but like it also feels like Washington it didn't play the game that you typically expect from Washington. So
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, like this is the thing. That's what I'm saying. I don't even think Jordan. So I you know what? I'm gonna save it for later. I'm gonna get
No,
into it
no,
later. But
I'm sure I'm going to completely agree with you on it.
no, I know. But I'm gonna get to it later. But I mean, Jordan Love was 19 for 31 on a 61% completion, 292 yards, which isn't bad. 2 touchdowns, and he had the 2 sacks, like I said. Their
Yeah,
rushing game was active, which is nice. Josh
which
Jacobs was
is I
23
think
for
that's the
84.
biggest difference between what the
Yep.
Commanders got and what the Packers did is
Yeah.
the Packers were able to run the ball and they
Yeah.
were able to shut down the Commanders early enough and often enough that they got behind and had to start chasing, so they had to throw more.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, Josh Jacobs was 23 for 84 for 1 touchdown. Uh, the entire team had 135 yards rushing, which is pretty good. Receiving was Kraft. I mean, Kraft all day long. 6 receptions, 124 yards, and 1 touchdown. Um, Wicks had 4 for 44. Heath 1 for 37. Musgrave 2 for 32. Look who didn't even touch the ball. Golden. He had 2 targets. Didn't touch the ball.
We told you
Defense.
all.
Well, we'll see. It's still early. Still only game 2. We'll see. Green Bay's defense is better. Like I said, they did get 4 sacks. I mean, we had half a sack on Cooper, half a sack on Brooks. Parsons was involved on a sack. Sorrell was involved on a sack. We had Wyatt had a sack. Gary had a sack. So they were putting pressure for sure on Jaden. But that O line from Washington wasn't even good last year. I mean, there's a reason why. If you're talking, I can't hear you, which is
No,
bad.
I'm talking to
Oh,
myself.
okay. You were emoting, so I couldn't tell if there was something that you were saying or not. Um, but what I was gonna say is that Washington's O line in general wasn't good last year either. So I think Jaden Daniels is used to being pressured and being pushed out of the pocket and him having to force throws down the field. It's kind of what he was doing last year, anyways. So I don't think that's the reason why they were losing this either. I don't think it was just the defense. Like I said, I think Washington's defense didn't really step up when they were supposed to either. So,
Exactly.
just a combination of all those things involved, right? Green Bay's kicking. McManus did miss one field goal, but he was 2 for 3, which is good. So they did also miss one. Um, Everything else looks fine. Nothing really stellar to talk about outside of that. So yeah, it was overall kind of a one-sided affair. It only looked interesting until the very end. I mean, literally in the fourth quarter, Washington earned 15 of their 18 points. So up until then, they had only 3 points on the board. So for a while there, it looked like 20-3 for a while. Like it was ridiculously bad. Um, yeah, it was an unfortunate game to watch. Just put it bluntly.
Yep. Now, I'm supposed to cover the Seahawks and the Steelers, and
I did watch some of the game.
I couldn't tell you a damn thing that happened in that game except that one person didn't know the rules of football, the rookie, and he touched the ball but didn't bring it in on a kickoff, and it rolled into the end
Yes.
zone, and it didn't
Yes.
roll out the back of the end zone, which made it a live
Yes.
ball, and then it was recovered by
Yes.
the Seahawks, which caused the Seahawks
Yes.
to win.
Yes. Well, I mean, to be fair, they were likely going to win already before that point, but that just kind of put the yeah,
stank on it. That's about
yeah.
all I can tell you outside of stats, and I don't think anybody wants to sit here and listen to me burn through a bunch of stats and not be able to give you any context.
Any context to it,
Yeah, because I
Yeah, I mean, all I can say about it is Sam Darnold looked good. He looked more like the Sam Darnold that came from Minnesota. Aaron Rodgers looked fine, but vulnerable. It was honestly a game where the Steelers had a real opportunity to win, and like we already pointed out at the very end of the game, decided to just not play football anymore, apparently. So there's that.
There is that. You also wanted to cover the Broncos and the Colts.
Yeah, that was a game. That
So
was
I heard.
a
Didn't it
game.
come down to like the last kick? Oh, I
It
caught the end of
literally
that
came
game.
down to the very end kick. Yeah,
I caught
the
the end of that
very
game.
end. It was wild. Um, I mean, I'm gonna even have to pull up the drive for it because like that ending, just in general, that fourth quarter was
Bonkers.
a bit bonkers. Yeah, because it really could have, like, put it honestly. I mean, Broncos easily could have won this game,
Oh
but they
yeah.
fucked it up at the very end, like they classically do. Um, So first off, we need to acknowledge, or something that I need to acknowledge, anyways, and something that I've talked about, and I think it's time to maybe something you might have to consider too is maybe, like I've been saying for a while, it's not Daniel Jones that was the problem. Daniel
Perhaps.
Jones might actually be a competent quarterback
Well,
if you
and
just put him
again,
in
I've said for
in a system that
ages.
works.
I've
You
said
know?
for ages and ages. A lot of times with quarterback, it's coach and it's scheme as well.
Yeah.
Because you can't just throw a quarterback out there and expect him to make all the plays. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some quarterbacks fit better in some schemes than they fit in others.
Oh,
Just
absolutely.
because, just just because Madden ranks them a 99 overall somewhere doesn't mean that they would be a 99 overall if they played in another city.
Yeah. I
Pat
don't care
Mahomes,
what
that's
anyone
a
says.
perfect
I
one.
don't care if you put Mahomes on the Browns. The Browns aren't winning a Super Bowl. That's not how
Exactly.
that works.
Not right now, they're not. No.
No.
And that's the whole
That's
point
what I'm
of it.
saying. If you did it right now, it wouldn't work.
And he probably wouldn't be a 99. Had he been drafted by the Browns, I'll guarantee you he'd have
Oh,
never been
yeah.
there.
No, probably not. Anyways, so let's look at stats because it's been interesting hearing how many people over in Denver are already like pissed off about the season. Um, First off, let's not blame Bo Nix for this. I mean, for God's sakes, he was 22 for 30, so that's 73% completion, 206 yards with 3 touchdowns and only 1 pick. Like the dude tried his damnedest to win this game. And Bo Nix was not the problem.
No.
And your rushing wasn't even particularly bad. I mean, Dobbins 14 rushing attempts for 76 yards and a touchdown. Nix himself ran at 3 for 20. Franklin 1 for 11. So you had a total of 118 yards rushing. So you were able to open up the field enough. Franklin also was your top receiver, 8 receptions for 89 yards and a touchdown. Mims had 2 receptions for 24 yards and a touchdown. And then a lot of balls to just a little bit of everybody. He kind of Bo Nix did a good job of passing around the ball. Let's see here, no fumbles, no interceptions. Defensively, unfortunately, this is where the problem is as good as Denver's defense is supposed to be. They haven't been putting enough pressure on, I would say, their opponents. They only got 1 sack on the night, and that was from Strand. No other real sacks. There's a couple of tackles for losses, which is good, but only 3, it looks like. Yeah, only 3 of them. So, I mean, and then 6 pressures in total. It just doesn't feel like Denver's defense is doing as well as they should be, and I think that's the reason why the Colts were even in this game to begin with. Because not to say that the Colts' offense is bad, because they're not. As I'm going to go into, But the Broncos, everyone talked about how this is supposed to be the top defense in the league, or one of the top defenses is the Broncos. They're supposed to be a top 5 defense, but they have not been showing it for the past 2 games. Looking over at the Colts, passing wise, you had Daniel Jones going 23 of 34, which is only 67%, but that's not really bad in the NFL nowadays. 316 yards, not bad. Total of only 1 touchdown, but he did get sacked once. Their rushing game was on point. You had Jonathan Taylor doing 25 attempts for 165 yards. No touchdowns, but Daniel Jones was able to rush in 1 touchdown himself. Receiving wise, you had Warren getting 4 receptions for 79 yards. Pierce was 4 for 68. Taylor did receive a touchdown. He had 2 for 50 yards and a touchdown there. So a lot of people just kind of got the ball passed around again, doing a pretty good job of doing so. The interception was Bynum. Fair years.
Bynum
Let's
has
see
been a
here.
beast for them. I wish we'd have kept him.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was gonna say. Like Bynum's just been great. He's been a great player. He's always been a good player.
Oh yeah, he's transcended into the realm of greatness, I think.
I would say he's definitely one of the top. I mean, definitely one of the top in his position for sure.
Yeah.
No sacks, unfortunately. They did have 5 tackles for losses, and they didn't also have any QB pressures either. So again, the Colts defense is not where you'd want it to be either. Like it has its moments, obviously, and it's got a couple players that are really good, but just like the Broncos, it just feels like their defense is. This feels like very much a tale of two teams. Like they kind of have similar offenses and similar defenses, but like in different positions, in different ways. Like if that makes sense, right? Like Bo Nix is not a Daniel Jones level, and
No.
I would say Denver's, running game is not Jonathan Taylor, obviously.
No.
But I would also argue that, the cornerbacks for Denver, I mean, they're just significantly better than what you're going to get from the Colts cornerbacks.
Yes.
So I think personally, I believe they are evenly matched, but not
position by
pound
position.
for pound. Yeah, not by position, right? By overall.
It's one of those things where each is strong, where the other's kind of weaker.
Yeah, and so they kind of cancel each other out to a certain degree. And unfortunately, it just came down. It quite literally did come down to the very end of the game. Denver had the ball. They were moving down the field. Near the end of fourth quarter, they had a chance to get a field goal to try to ice away the game, or at least make the Colts have to move down the field within, I think, like a minute. It was like 30 seconds or a minute. I'm trying to scroll up to see, but it was short time to go down and get a touchdown. Unfortunately, Denver fucking whiffed the field goal, and so they didn't go up by 3, or didn't go up by 5. Sorry, so they were only up by 2. So all the Colts had to do was get within field goal range, and they were going to win by the 1. Well, guess what happened?
They kicked it wide to the right, but guess what?
But then a flag came on the field.
Flag.
And then guess who it was? It was on the Broncos. So then who got closer to the field goal? That's right, the Colts did, which means they got to kick it again.
Flag.
Guess who didn't miss it 2 times in a row? So, yeah. It came really down to the wire. The Colts were able to squeeze out the victory in a fairly even matched game. But what I was going to say is I think the Broncos aren't a bad football team. I think the Colts are a better football team than people thought they were.
Much better. So they have set an NFL record.
Yes.
Do you know what it is?
I don't remember. I remember them talking about it, but I forgot it off the top of my head.
They're the first team in Super Bowl history, modern Super Bowl history, that in the process of their first 2 games has never brought a punter onto the field.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Weirdly enough, yeah. Which is funny because there are definitely moments when they definitely could have.
Yeah. Weird, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that game was wild from the get go. Lots of fun, I'm sure. All right. This one I turned off at halftime. I did not wish to see us play any further. Uh, kind of glad I did. Falcons and Vikings. I don't.
I went through the full misery. I went through the full train crash.
I couldn't do it.
I did it.
I think it's
I did
also
it. I
because
went through
I
the whole
was
thing.
still fucking hopped up and exhausted from the hospital. I
Nope,
turned it
I
off at
kept- I-
halftime and I crawled into bed.
Nope, I finished it.
Took my antibiotics and everything that I needed to take, and I'm done.
Listen, I kept doing the thing that I did that I did the thing to Melissa because we were watching it. Melissa ended up walking away. I ended up doing the hey, you never know. You know, we won in the fourth quarter last time. It could have happened again. Fortunately, it didn't happen again, but
No,
it could have. It could have happened.
No, instead, I think the Vikings defense are still trying to figure out the number of the train that hit them.
No, I think they just got tired. Like, because
No,
you
no,
can
no,
tell
no.
they
I'm
held.
talking about the train called Bijan.
No, I'm just saying that I think most of the game they actually held very well. I think it wasn't until the end where they just clearly got tired and they just got run over at the very end. That's my opinion. You know?
Bijan. Because, boy, was that a shellacking.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, according to what the Vikings are saying, they believe McCarthy's injury came about in the third quarter and that it affected his play throughout the rest of the third and fourth quarter. I still don't think that would have been enough for us to come in and win this game, to be honest. I think
agree.
there's a lot of. I still think it's a rookie quarterback that has a lot of development time still. That
However,
knows all of the correct fundamentals and everything and all the mentalities. He just needs to physically play the games and see it himself now. I think at this point, I think he just needs to play through everything.
I think the
Of course, we can't
MVP
now,
of this
but,
game is place kicker Parker Romo, who scored 16 of the 22 points for the Falcons.
I was gonna say, to be fair, yeah, they did not. As much as as much as I want to harp on Minnesota again, they didn't. That's why I'm saying their defense actually held up really well. They held them to just field goals after field goal after field goal for most of the fucking game.
The problem is they kept letting them get into field goal range before they'd stiffen up.
They didn't mean to, but you can tell that that's the defensive style that what they were doing is they were doing the give them the small stuff and let them march down the field and then
And that
we'll
works
just
great when
hold
your
them.
offense is doing anything.
And again, I think
Unfortunately,
under most circumstances, if McCarthy doesn't get injured, I think that game looks closer and doesn't look this bad. I think we're looking at closer to like a 22-17 scoreline or something similar to that, to be honest with you. But that's just
maybe
me.
we'd have to see. But yeah, Bijan carried for 143 and Algiers for 76. They had 219 yards of offense between them.
No, I know. I'm very well aware. Because that's what I was about to say. If we stopped, if there was no injury and we were able to slow down their rushing game, I mean, their passing game was, well, to be honest, fairly non-existent. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, what? He passed 21 times and only connected 13 times. He wasn't asked to do much. So, like, their rushing game just did all the work.
Yeah, we actually asked JJ to pass the same amount of times, and he connected 2 times less.
Yeah, I know.
However, I
Now,
think
granted, that part of that we know is from the injury, obviously.
the big difference is JJ also decided to throw 2 interceptions.
Again, one of those was from his injury. We know that to be likely true, based upon what they've told us.
Based on what we've been told, yes. I think the big difference, though, is where they rushed for 219 yards, we could only rush for 78.
Yeah, no, their rushing game was. That's what I'm saying. Like that was the big problem. Is again we couldn't. Again, if you think about back to last week, we didn't start winning until our rushing game started getting activated. It's the same problem here. Our rushing game just couldn't get going, and it kind of screwed us. And I think next week is going to be in a similar position, to be honest with you.
Oh, you better believe it.
Yeah.
Also, fumbles are absolutely murderous to us.
Unfortunately, we were one of the few teams this week that did have.
Fumbleitis.
Yeah.
Total of 4
Though,
fumbles.
to be fair, the sacks didn't help.
He was sacked 6 times.
He was sacked 6. Like, that's ridiculous. 6 times.
Again, we can tell that the O-line, especially that left tackle, without Darisaw there, we just don't have anything there.
QB pressured 11 times.
Yeah.
That's the highest we've talked about so far. It's just, bar none. Double digits is not okay for that. That's ridiculous. What are we talking about for tackle for losses? Let's see here. 5? Yeah. Like, come on. It was rough. It was a rough going.
Yeah,
Like I said,
I was unhappy with that game.
I don't like I said, I don't blame JJ for that. I know a lot of people are going to. I don't really.
I'm not putting the onus on him per se, but
No, I'm just saying a lot of people are, but it's really not.
Well, he's
The
basically a
injury
rookie,
didn't help.
and I only expect rookie level stuff out of him.
He's basically a rookie. He's now who's coming off of a season injury, now coming on and getting injured again, at least partially. With an O line that isn't playing up to the standard we hoped for, granted partially due to one of our key pieces being injured. Our running game is not performing the way it needs to. Our wide receivers are not performing in the way that we expect of them. Our defense is mostly doing what we expected it to be, actually. So I would say Brian Flores is holding up his end of the bargain, actually, for the most part. It feels like it's the offense that really is lacking all around. I mean, even special teams looks pretty good, to be honest with you. It feels like our offense is just having issues. I know some of that's with injuries and everything, but that's pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've got a lot of injuries, and that certainly isn't helping matters at all.
No.
Um,
So, yeah.
the final game that I said I would cover, and I did watch most of this, definitely the ending. I was pretty happy with the ending. Tampa at Houston.
Yeah, I missed it. I watched some of it, but I missed a lot of it.
Baker was baking, man, especially in that fourth quarter. The reason they won is Baker.
I heard that fourth quarter was good.
Yeah. So, Baker did go 25 of 38 for 215, 2 touchdowns. Got sacked 4 times.
Oof.
Did rush 3 times for 33 yards. And then there was a fairly even, not entirely even, but fairly even distribution between Bucky and Rashad at back. Bucky got it 17 times and hauled 71 yards, and Rashad got it 10 times and hauled 65 and a touchdown. Ball placement as to who's getting it for receiving, all over the place. Evans had 5 catches. Bucky Irving had 6. Sterling Shepard had 4. Abuka had 4. Otten had 3. You begin to see what I mean. They were all over the place, man. But the touchdowns go to Abuka and Ryan Miller. Caught 1 pass for 20 yards and a touchdown.
Okay, why not?
Baker did fumble, but it was recovered by Rashad White. They managed 3 sacks, with Tyke Smith coming up with 1, Levante David having a half, Greg Gaines having a sack, and Elijah Roberts having a half. Yeah. On the Texans side, Stroud, as we said, got stacked 3 times. He threw 13 to 24, 207, and a touchdown. Chubb, though, just 12 for 43 and 1 touchdown. I think the Browns, now that I'm looking at it, the Browns were probably smart to let him go. He's definitely not the Chubb from before the injury. He is definitely not as explosive as he was.
No.
Stroud 4 for 27. Woody Marks 3 for 14. Nico Collins 3 for 52 and a tutty. Woody Marks 1 for 37. Nick Chubb 2 for 29. Hutchinson 2 for 29. Dalton Schultz 3 for 29. Jaden Higgins 1 for 28. In terms of defense, the sacks go to Will Anderson Jr., of course. Danielle Hunter gets the other two. Yes. Oh, no, they got him 4 times, didn't they? And then the fourth one was to Sheldon Rankins. Yeah. This game came down to a last-second field goal by Tampa Bay to win it. And I'm trying to remember... Yeah, because they were up with... Let's see here. With 5:22 to play, Houston had just kicked the field goal. They went 3 and out. The Buccaneers did. But they were up at that time 14-13, and then Houston comes roaring back and scores a touchdown. No, it wasn't a field goal. It was a touchdown at the end of the game. Houston comes roaring back, scores a touchdown, puts themselves up 14-19, and then... So we start with a 10-yard penalty. Offensive holding. Mayfield, just a short pass to Bucky Irving to the Tampa Bay 32 for all of 12 yards. Then we get a 0-yard pass, an incompletion and incompletion. Then we get Mayfield scrambling 15 yards. Then we get Mayfield with a short pass to the right to Kate Otten. Timeout by Houston. They're like, okay, we've seen enough here. Mayfield then swings another short pass to the middle of Irving. And basically all this leads up to is Rachaad White off the right guard, 2 yards, touchdown. 2-point conversion attempt. It fails, but it doesn't matter. They kick off to Houston with 6 seconds left. Houston cannot do anything. They lose 22-19. Very good game. A well-played game. That is a football game that you kind of... Like, if you're a fan of either of those teams, you're sitting there biting your nails the whole game. But at the end, you walk away and you go, damn, we had a chance. Or, damn, I'm glad we got that. Because at no point was either team truly dominating the other.
No, not really.
So, yeah. All right, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
No.
Alrighty. You want to give out some game balls?
I mean, I guess we can do that.
All right. You want to start?
Sure. I'll give my first one to Malik Neighbors. He had a crazy good game.
In that
Despite
vein,
the loss.
in that vein, I'll give my first to Russell Wilson, who had a crazy good game,
I figured.
but
Yeah,
lost.
Yep. I figured that's what you'd do. Would have been shocked otherwise if he didn't. Let's give one to Amon-Ra St. Brown. 3 touchdowns on a game. Why not? That's pretty good.
Why not? That's not bad. I'm going to give my next one to Bijan Robinson. 143 yards in a game. That's worthy of a ball. I'm unhappy it came against the Vikings, but you know what? Game recognized game.
Let's. You know what? I'm gonna give one to Jake Browning. Despite your 3 interceptions, you still somehow found a way to win that game against Jacksonville. Congratulations.
And I'll give my third and final game ball to JT, Jonathan Taylor.
That's fair.
Let's go.
That's fair.
Also, there's a bit of bias because he's on my fantasy team and helped me win my game this
I was
week.
gonna say he was on mine. He's obviously on mine too.
Yeah. Alrighty. Showers?
Sure.
Shower. I'll go first this time.
You go first. Okay.
Vikings O-line, Vikings D-line. Hit the showers. I'm putting this loss almost entirely on both of you. You couldn't slow down the rush. You couldn't stop the rush. Either way.
Yeah, true. Jake Browning, hit the showers. I know I gave you a game ball, but you did have 3 interceptions. That's pretty bad, dude.
Geno Smith, get in the shower.
Ooh.
That was a very terrible game from you. You literally lost the game for your team.
I think it's worse than that, actually, which is why I'm saying Pete Carroll hit the showers, dude. Ashton Gentry, 11 touches. Is this a joke to you? Is this a joke to you?
And my final comes in a pair right now. Jets quarterbacks, get in the shower. The two of you that tried to quarterback that game, that was abysmal.
That was unfortunately not great.
No.
That was a rough game.
That was a rough game to watch.
Yeah, it kind of was. Ooh, who do I go with for my last one? You know what? I'm gonna call him out. Terry McLaurin, get in the showers. You didn't do anything week 1. You finally showed up week 2, but you didn't do a lot. You dropped a couple passes. You've been looking kind of missing. I don't enjoy it.
He secured the deal. He doesn't have to worry anymore.
That's kind of what it feels like.
Potatoes?
Potatoes?
Do you want me to start or do you want to start on this one?
You can start. It's fine.
All right, I'm going to hit you with one right out the bucket.
Come on, you.
With Burrow more than likely out for the season, maybe Cincy should take this as an opportunity and rebuild.
No. No, they never will.
I'm not saying that that's what they're going to do. I'm saying they should.
Nah, it's fine. Dude, honestly, I don't even think they could even if they wanted to. They have too much money tied up in
Well, that's what I was
3
saying.
players.
I was saying
Like, you can't...
to trade T.
No, they'll never do it.
Trade, what's that?
They'll never do it.
We're
We're talking about trading Henderson.
Hendrickson.
Yeah, Hendrickson. No, like, they're just never going to do it. So
Yeah, but they should. Yeah. If they were run by
I don't even
intelligent
necessarily...
people.
I don't even know if I necessarily agree with that. After making the decisions they've already made to then trade off those people, like, the money makes no sense to do that at this point. Obviously, they were already kind of in for a penny for a pound at this point. I'm honestly like, they're kind of fucked either way. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Though they've kind of done that to themselves.
Hey,
So
all right.
it is what it is. I think they kind of have to roll with it. To be honest, in my personal opinion, I don't think they have much of a choice. Let's see here. We'll just go with the one that I thought of at the first that I really want to do. Maybe, just maybe, Jordan Love is an average quarterback.
I'll bite that, and I'll put a caveat on it. That doesn't necessarily mean he's bad.
No, he's not bad. He's just not this superstar quarterback Green Bay wants him to be.
He's not. And I think right now,
the team that's built around him is built so good that he doesn't have to be great. He just has to be fine. Micah Parsons,
I think, said it best. If our offense could score 21 points a night, we're going to win every game.
Yeah.
That's all it's going
to be. It doesn't have to be stellar. He doesn't have to be great. He just has to do good enough to throw the ball at the right moments, in the right time, and hand off the ball to Jacobs when he needs to. Like he just has to be a very average quarterback.
You know who else was?
And I think that's good for him though, because last year when he was trying to play hero ball, it doesn't work. He can't do that.
And you know what's funny? If you look at it, you know who else that reminds me of?
I mean, if you say Aaron Rodgers, I'm gonna laugh at you.
No, the Sanchez. Mark Sanchez. Average quarterback, decent arm, leaned on a running game with a really good defense, and got into the playoffs.
Yeah, I guess.
And the moment they asked him to lead, butt fumble.
I mean, I would argue Jordan Love's better than Sanchez, but that's just me.
But I'm saying they're in the same vein. They're a quarterback that is good for what they do, but you cannot ask them to be the hero. You cannot ask them to be the primary cog.
No, yeah. That's true.
This is going to come to the standings right now, and you may need to take a look. Maybe a team that is currently 0-2 will make the playoffs, and a team that is currently 2-0 will miss them.
Let's see here. Week 3, what do we got here? So 0-2 teams. We have Dolphins, no. Cleveland, no. Carolina, no. Houston, maybe. If they can get their fucking head out of their goddamn ass. They have the talent. They just can't get their fucking head out of their assholes, it feels like. 0-2 Jets, no. Tennessee, 0-2, no. New Orleans, 0-2, no. Chicago, 0-2, no. Chiefs, 0-2. That could be the one just because it's the Chiefs. You almost can't. It's hard to bet against the Chiefs going and not making playoffs. Jets, 0-2, no. So your best chance on that one's Chiefs for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The only other 0-2 team that could possibly make playoffs would be Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give that part a possibility. Let's look at the other side. 2-0 teams that won't make playoffs. Bills 2-0. They're probably making playoffs. Green Bay 2-0. Probably making playoffs at this point. Cincy 2-0. The team is good enough that I think if Browning plays competent football, they could still make playoffs, but that is now up in the air, obviously. Who else is 2-0? Rams are 2-0. I think they're probably making playoffs. Eagles 2-0, probably making playoffs. Tampa 2-0. I think they're probably winning their division, so they're going to playoffs. Indy 2-0. They could still fall apart, but they're looking good so far. They could still miss playoffs, though. Chargers 2-0. I think they have a pretty good shot at making playoffs. Let's see here. Arizona 2-0 and 49ers are 2-0. Honestly, I think both of those have a very good chance at not making playoffs for different reasons. So I think your 2-0s have higher chances just because there's so many of them at this point. There's enough of them that, yeah, there's a chance one or two of them are probably going to miss playoffs. I think your 0-2s are much harder to argue for making playoffs, but the one that makes the most sense would obviously be the Chiefs. Unless they don't pull it together. That's
literally why I wrote this in here, is because the Chiefs are 0-2.
Yeah, they're the only team that could pull it out and still win. I'll put it this way. I'm going to caveat this, okay? I think you're absolutely right, and that the Chiefs will end up making playoffs if they beat the Giants this week. If they lose,
I was actually going to get into that
to the Giants,
because I think if the Giants played like they played against Dallas, the Chiefs are going to have their hands full.
I think if they lose to the Giants on Sunday night, I think they might actually miss out on playoffs this year. Because that could be just demoralizing enough, going 0-3, and then losing to the Giants, especially in a close fashion, if it's close too. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like that could be really demoralizing.
Because the first two teams they've played, Chargers, They're a good team. Everybody knows it. They
They're
always
a
play
good
the
team
Chiefs
at this
tight.
point. Everyone already knows Chargers are good this year
And they
too.
always
They're
play
really
them
good this
pretty
year.
tightly. The Eagles are
Yeah.
that's last year's Super Bowl competition.
Yeah. Eagles have been playing a little rough this year, but they're still a good football team.
The Giants are supposed to be a patty cake team. For
But they've
someone
been
like
playing well this year
for
despite their
someone
2
like the
losses.
Chiefs, they're supposed to be a patty cake team.
Yes. Yes.
And
agreed.
losing to them in close fashion, it wouldn't be as bad. But if the
Oh, if
Giants
they get
come in
blown
there
out, yeah.
and Russell throws for 450 yards and they blow out the Chiefs,
Yeah, if we're talking like 40 to like 21 or something, like, oh my God.
yeah, that would just
Yeah.
crush the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They would have Travis going, "Why'd I come back for this last year?"
I should have retired. Maybe I'll retire mid-season.
I
could
wouldn't put
happen.
it past him.
It could happen.
Yeah, a dude retired at halftime of a game.
That's what I'm saying. Just came back and went, you know what? Never mind. This ain't it.
Vontae Davis, yeah, literally took all
Literally
of
played
his
half
stuff
a game
off.
and went, you know what? Nope.
I'm done.
I can't play football anymore. I changed my mind. To be fair, I mean, you get hit enough times. I imagine you get rocked enough times, and eventually you're just like, I don't want to get hit this hard anymore.
Yeah, I'm not having fun anymore.
Yeah. I think that's really what it came down to. Like, that's why I don't blame people that do that when they, like, yeah, it seems a little shitty to leave your team at halftime, but at the same time, like, if you're not helping them by being on the field, you might as well get off of it.
Yeah.
Put somebody in there who at least wants to try.
There's
to
also
help.
people that say, "Oh, look, they still got years left on their career. How could Megatron and Barry Sanders and I'm
because
like, guys,
they don't
you
want to
don't
ruin their
understand.
life, you know.
They
Money
know
isn't
that they
everything.
Can still play, but like, why? I'm not having fun anymore. This isn't about fun. I'm not
Well,
going
I'm
to
not
win a
having
title anytime
fun.
soon.
I want to be able to still have a body to have with my family and friends.
I want to be able to walk
still wanna
with
be-
my kids when
I want to be
they
able
get
to do
older.
things when I'm older.
Yeah.
You know, I want to keep my mind while I still have it,
That's I think why
or at least
quarterbacks
some of
last
it.
longer.
They get hit less,
Yes.
and then when they do get hit, the other team gets flagged every. There's a reason why quarterbacks can get into their 45s now. You know, they didn't used to because they used to be less protected. It is true. It's factually been true. I mean, we've seen it over the last 20 years. It's obvious. I mean, think about early 2000s. QBs didn't make it to their 40s that often. If it did, it was like rare. You'd be like, holy crap.
Yeah.
And now regularly you're getting more and more quarterbacks getting into their mid 40s before they retire.
All right, so give me another one. What you got?
Oh, are we on our first round or our second round? Or
Second
third
round.
round? Are we on our last one?
No, second round. We got one more.
Oh, we're on our second round. Damn, I got so sidetracked.
Sorry.
Nope, you're good. I completely forgot what we were talking about for a second. Sometimes that happens to my brain. I get too engaged in a conversation. Ooh, reset my brain. All right. Back to potatoes. I gotta look at the teams again. That might help me actually. Ooh. Oh, come on. Halfway season's week 8. No. 9? It's 9 now, right? Yeah,
I believe
it's week
so.
9 now. Maybe. Just maybe. We'll see our first coach fired by week 6.
Matt, the way things are going in a certain city, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see it by week 3.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm giving myself a little wiggle room. I assume that means you're agreeing with me.
I do. That's not how you win. You can't win. You have to go forward.
What? No.
Obviously,
not what
obviously that wasn't winning. No, we weren't.
What?
Did you see that whole thing?
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I heard clips. Yeah.
And I'm just like, that is a dude who knows his termination papers are on someone's desk.
Well, at the same time, what do you say when everything's going wrong? What do you possibly say to some of these questions?
No, we suck.
Yeah, I know, but that's not going to go well. The owner's immediately going to be pissed if you say
I don't
that.
care. It's the truth. Some people need to
I
hear the
know, but
truth.
I agree. But if you're trying to play the playmaker of trying to keep your job, pissing off the owner who actually makes your final decisions, is probably the last person you want to piss off. But I agree. Normally, that's what I would say too. I'd just be like, hey, listen, honestly, things aren't clicking. I don't know why, but right now we kind of suck, and things are not clicking, and we need to find out why we're not clicking.
Need to
But
figure out what we're gonna do
obviously,
about it.
yeah, I gotta find out. I gotta look back at the tape, and I'll find a solution. Right now, I don't have that solution, but I will find that solution. And if I don't find that solution, I imagine I'll be fired. Like that's, I mean, it is what it is. It is. That's the truth of it. At this point in time, if he doesn't find a solution quick, he's gonna get fired.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I think there's
Right, give me.
one other head that might roll, at least.
Sure. Yep.
All right. My last one. I'm just moonshotting this for fun.
Okay.
It's way too early to call any of this. I don't care. I like it. It would complete his story so much. Maybe Baker Mayfield, MVP.
Man, you want to talk about a moonshot? That's a whole nother solar fucking system. We're in week 2, buddy.
Don't care.
I am not. I
I'm
am
Babe
not.
Ruth in this crap.
I am not touching. I am not touching MVP conversations until at least week 9. Jesus Christ! Like he'd have to win out the rest of his games, be the most magnificent player we've ever seen for me to be like, you know what? Yeah, I'll call him MVP by week 4 or something. Like it's just not gonna happen. There's no way. That's ridiculous. um. Hmm. What's my next choice here? Oh, so many choices. So little options. Um, maybe. Just maybe. CJ Stroud will never be as good as his first year.
No, I'm not going to touch that right now. He's still too young. There's still too much time to go.
He's in his 3rd year, man.
Yeah, but I mean, what? 15-year career, maybe 12-year.
It looks like the same games he was playing last year, though. There doesn't seem to be any difference.
I still think it's too early for me.
I
If you were
don't
to
know,
ask
man. It
me in
feels
a
like
couple,
I hate to be that guy, but it feels like they're turning him into a Derek Carr. Like he gets hit so much. I know it's not all on him, but at this point, I feel like they ruined him. Like I hate to be that guy, but I feel like that's what they've done.
maybe. I hope not.
I hope not too. But that's why I'm saying I don't know if he'll ever surpass that first year, just because I'm worried they ruined him.
Well, let's hope not.
Yeah.
Nope, that's it there. Now on to week 3.
Yes, we do have to do that.
Yeah, we have to. And this is going to be
Yeah.
hilarious because we start
For you or me.
for both of us.
Uh,
Because we start with the Dolphins at the Bills.
I mean, as much as it would be hilarious to pick the Dolphins and try to make it somehow serious, we both are probably picking the Bills.
Then we have the Bengals under their backup quarterback, Jake Browning. Against the Vikings under their backup quarterback, Carson
Carson
Wentz.
Wentz. In Wentz we trust, buddy. Maybe our defense can pick off the ball off Jake Browning 3 more times.
That is literally the only thing I'm hoping for.
It's pretty much what I'm hoping for is our defense, because their defense sucks ass.
Like,
So if our
I
defense
hope
can
that
win
if,
us the
that
game,
if
you know.
Wentz sucks it up by halftime, that we can see Brosmer out there.
You know, that could be interesting, actually.
That really could be.
I'd be at least willing to see it.
Preseason, so.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be good against the first starters, but I'd at least give it a try.
Steelers at Patriots.
Steelers didn't look good last week. They looked good the first week. Patriots looked okay last week and looked not so good the first week. Kind of a 1-for-1 trade here. I'm gonna put my faith in the Mike Vrabel defense, though. So I'm gonna go with the Patriots.
I will take the Steelers. Colts at Titans.
I mean, in Indiana Jones we trust.
There you go. Texans at Jags.
Man, back in the day, I used to be a Texans guy. I would go Texans all day long. Do I go Texans on this, or do I go Jags on this one now? Jags have been playing better. Texans are still looking kind of meh. Similar I don't want to say quarterbacks, but similar play. Ooh. This feels like a toss of a coin, to be honest with you. I think I'll go with the Jaguars.
I'll take the Texans. Falcons at Panthers.
So as much as the score makes it look like the Falcons absolutely decimated us, I would say it was closer for most of the game than that. Mostly. Carolina's been playing pretty decently. I think they'll be a good match. I don't know how good the Panthers' defense is at stopping the rush, though. I think I'll give the slight edge to the Falcons. But it's not a huge edge, but I think it is a slight edge.
I'm also going Falcons. Rams at Eagles.
Oh boy, I'm going Rams.
You know what? I'll take the Eagles.
Oh yeah. Oh, gross. I hope you lose that one.
Well, considering I took Chicago last week over Detroit.
Yeah, that was a bad mistake, wasn't it?
Yeah, I looked at that score and I went, whoops. Jets at Bucks.
I mean, Baker gonna bake.
Exactly. Raiders at Commanders.
Raiders did not impress week 2. Week 1 was better. Commanders have been kind of subpar on both week 1 and week 2, to be honest. But I don't think the Raiders defense is even close to good in comparison to Green Bay. So in theory, the Commanders should have a lot more time to throw the ball. I'm going to give the edge to the Commanders.
I agree with you. Packers at Browns.
I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. As much as I don't like the Packers, the Browns are a non-existent team at this point. Yeah.
Broncos at Chargers.
Ooh, that'll be a fun game. The Broncos are a tough team to play. Even despite everything, I think they're a tough team. I still think the Chargers do get the edge.
I agree.
But I think it'll be a close game.
I agree. Saints at Seahawks.
Seahawks. Saints. You know what? I give the credit to the Saints. They've been in the games they've lost. Like, they've had opportunities to win. They just can't do it.
Cards at Niners.
Cards at Niners, man. I just. So we know Brock Purdy isn't playing, right?
I haven't heard one way or the other.
Okay, so we don't actually know still.
Because he didn't play last week, but Mac Jones looked really damn good.
Mac Jones
in
did look
relief.
good. Cardinals have been doing okay at this point. But they just historically match them up, and the 49ers almost historically beat their ass. I guess I'll just go with 49ers,
I'll
historically
take the Cards
speaking.
just for the outside shot at that one.
Yeah, but historically speaking, the 49ers have always
yeah,
spanked
yeah.
them.
Cowboys at Bears.
I mean, listen, I don't like the Cowboys, but I do think that they probably are a better team than the Bears. So I am going to say Cowboys.
I would agree with you. Chiefs at Giants.
I mean, like we've already talked about, I think the Chiefs should probably win this game, but I think the Giants actually have an outside opportunity to make something really funny happen, and it would be the greatest thing ever. But I am going to have to sadly pick the Chiefs.
I'll take the Giants just for the lulz.
If it happens, oh my god, it'd be so great. I wouldn't even care if I lost. It'd be so great.
Finally, Lions at Ravens.
That'll be a fun. That should be a fun game. Granted, the Lion depends on which Lions team shows up. If we get week 2 Lions, it'll be a good game. If we get week 1 Lions, it's gonna be a trouncing. I am going to lean Ravens just because they've been more steady. They've been more consistent. If week 2 Lions show up, I think they could definitely win. But Ravens have been more steady as far as that's concerned.
Just agree with you. Just to agree with you. I agree. All right. I've got nothing else. You got anything? Anything we missed?
Which games are you covering?
I wanted to give you a thought on that. Let's wait until they see how. You watch so many of them. Let's just wait and see how they all play out. Because I don't want to pick a game and have another game have great storyline or great implications or something historically fun happen, and we don't talk about it.
Okay, I agree with that, but at the same time, you don't get to watch all the games that I do.
No, but I'll figure it out.
Okay. Fair enough, I guess. I guess you can just talk about whatever you end up getting to watch, I guess.
There you go.
I'll just pick from whatever I guess I'll pick from whatever I found the most interesting to talk about.
Yep.
And you'll pick on and you'll just pick whatever you can watch.
I can watch quite a bit. It's just a matter of like
Okay.
Because normally in the afternoons I'm gaming, but we'll have to see how everything shakes out, and I can still watch with no volume on.
True.
So it's just a matter of like, okay, chilling.
Oh, excuse me. I got you.
All right. Well, I got nothing. You got nothing else. Here's what I'm going to say. We hope that everybody enjoys the content we make. If you do, please give us a thumbs up, give us a subscribe. Let us know that we entertain you in some form or fashion. We will see you back here again next week to review week 3. In the meantime, we'll tell you that we believe in you. We know you can do it if you just stick it, put your mind to it. Stay bearded.